Last time on Square Roots, Cloud was afraid to come out of the locker. Cloud was as nervous as he could be. Cloud was afraid to come out of the locker. He was afraid that somebody would see. 2, 3, 4, tell the people what he wore. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow chocobo bikini that he wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow chocobo bikini. And he knew it would slay.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by... it's a good name for Johnny. This is kind of a boring... Well, I don't want to say boring chunker.
But, you can.
Yeah.
How about 30 seconds of Zach? 30 seconds of Zach.
Oh, yeah. Johnny, 30 seconds of... Johnny... Zach...
Stop that. Get down.
Back Zach in a shack, Brandon.
Zach Attack?
Check.
Yeah, John Zach Attack, Brandon. And Vanessa.
Hi.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time.
Nope.
And this is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Part 5.
No. Get down. Hi, sorry.
What's
Having
happening
cat
here?
issues. My cat decided to attack the lid of my water bottle for some reason. He's like, yes, that is what I want. That is what I need to go after today. What are we doing?
Well, guys,
did you say what we do on the show?
I did. Do you guys want to talk about, well, before we get, into the show, into the real meaty stuff, any of you guys have any hot gaming news you want to talk about?
Yeah. Fallout, the TV show, was renewed for a second season.
What?
Cool
What? There's a
beans.
Fallout TV show?
I guess that's my first bit of news. There's a Fallout TV show.
What?
And my second bit of news is it's renewed for a second season.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was well received, and I'm not going to say anything else about the Fallout TV show because I think we probably need to save that for a little special something. Wink.
Yeah, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you're gonna be treated to a couple special little drops about this Fallout TV show.
A couple of special little drop. We're dropping things?
We're dropping some sweet bonus content.
Sweebos?
Yeah, Sweebos.
The only
Oh.
thing we usually drop around here is the ball. Hey!
Oh.
Or
True.
our listeners' expectations. What else? Any other HGN? Oh, there's a new they let people into like a technical beta for Hades 2, which seems to be going over really well. People really love the new god designs, and I guess the game is running really well. People are pretty excited about it. John, do you have any hot gaming news?
No. There's nothing that I'm particularly excited about. But it's kind of a lull, I think, before the E3 or whatever, Summer Games mess, whatever you want to call all the stuff
Oh,
happening this
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to start announcing like fall games pretty soon.
summer. Xbox handheld is rumored.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. John, are there any games that have not been given a release date yet that you're pretty excited about?
This year or coming up?
Yeah. Yeah, coming up. Yet to be released.
Dreadwolf!
Yeah.
Is that confirmed for 2024?
Maybe. It's confirmed that they're going to do something in 2024, but the something might just be announcing a 2025 release date.
What's that game that Vanessa's obsessed with? Vampire
Vampire the Masquerade 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming soon, and I'm going to get my $10.
Yeah, right. That's not coming out.
Should we address the elephant or lack thereof in the room.
Wow, you're so mean today. Vanessa's in a real mean girl mood.
Matt's
today.
not editing, and he's not on the episode. He's never going to hear it.
You're all mean.
I'm ornery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've been.
Wait, so were we going to explain why Matt's not here? Is that what you were?
Yeah,
is
you
that
were
what
about to, and
segueing
then,
into.
then stopped.
I wasn't going to. I was just proposing that someone else do it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So Matt is on a drink vacation where he goes and drinks for a week. It's called the
AKA
Drinkcation.
diarrhea.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What he's drinking is laxative in order to get himself some more diarrhea.
Why?
Yep.
No one wants more.
He saw that, like, Kardashians do it with tea or something like that, and he thought that he wanted to get in on that trend.
Oh, speaking of, okay, this is more of a level up, but I'm just gonna sneak it in here. I decided to try, before I had dairy, something called Lactaid. And
Yes.
I've heard of that. Is that like
Oh,
a
you know
dairy alternative?
I should have some now because
Yeah.
I'm having some cheese.
It's like a pill that you
it's
take if
this,
you're
yeah.
lactose intolerant.
It's and it turns
Oh.
out I'm super lactose intolerant.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been pooping like Jim since.
What? Excuse me?
Yeah, remember your Jimmy?
You mean dense deuce?
Yeah, Jimmy Dent's
Oh,
dude.
Jimmy
It's been
Dent's dude.
great. So
All sinkers.
I recommend.
All stinkers, all sinkers.
Like it's I just thought that everyone got stomach cramps after eating dairy.
Aw.
I never really thought about it that I could be lactose intolerant, but boy, I am.
Well, that's a great discovery, and I think it's really going to contribute to your quality of life.
I agree. Now I can have all those things that made my tum a little sad. Anyway, well, Jim, how'd you level up?
Let's see. I saw a movie called Sting.
What?
It's about a spider.
Oh.
It's about a space spider.
Is it?
It is.
I didn't know that. That sounds like you just gave away the big twist.
No, it's like it's in the opening of the movie. A little comet lands in a Brooklyn apartment building, and it cracks open, and there's a little spider in it. Just a little spider that looks like a little black widow.
Okay.
And it gets adopted by the building super's daughter.
You shouldn't
stepdaughter?
adopt a black widow.
Yeah, but she likes it to be her little pet, and she starts feeding it cockroaches and stuff, and then it gets really big and starts eating things that are a lot bigger, and it gets real scary.
Sounds like a sort of Audrey 2 kind of situation.
Yeah, kind of, except it doesn't talk or sing or anything.
No.
Lame.
Now you have famously a fear of spiders.
I hate spiders, yeah.
So how did you cope with a movie that's just all spiders all the time?
Whenever there was a close-up of the spider's mouth and face, I wanted to puke.
You've mentioned
And
that
I
before, that's what you really don't like about the spider, is their face.
Correct. There's two main things that I do not like about three main things I don't like about spiders. This doesn't apply to not all three of them apply to all spiders. Two of them do. I don't like the way they move. I find the way they use their legs to move around, I think it's disgusting. And I don't like their faces because they are also disgusting. And for the ones that have hair, I think their hair is disgusting. Hairy spiders? No, thank you. But the movie itself is pretty good. It's not I don't know. It's not like a revolutionary horror movie, but it's a fun little popcorn creature feature movie. If you like that kind of thing. Yeah, and that's it. I saw a movie called Sting in theaters now. Vanessa, how did you level up?
I've got the plague.
What?
I don't.
Albert
I'm
Camus?
trying to do a pun on like I've got the fever. Like when people talk about some kind of big pop culture thing, they're like, "Oh, I've got Barbie fever" or whatever. But I'm talking medieval times, so I tried to do a plague pun. It didn't work. I apologize. I played a game called Pentiment.
Ooh. About illuminated manuscripts.
It is. This is a role-playing / adventure game from Obsidian that came out in 2022 originally.
I had to really talk you into playing this, too.
You did. Came out in 2024 for consoles, and I absolutely loved it. It's set in 1518 to start with, and then sort of stretches over 25 years. I would say that the game it's most like in sort of tone and quality is Disco Elysium. It is not a baby game for babies, but it's not aggressively adult either, like Cyberpunk or something like that. I think what's really interesting about it is it's essentially a mystery game, but the game doesn't tell you if you have correctly solved the mystery or not.
Like L.A. Noire.
Yeah, like L.A. Noire. So, murders happen and you're involved with finding out who did it, and then you just kind of have to live with whether or not you think you made the right choice. And it takes place in sort of a small village, and who you decide to point the finger at really affects how people interact with you and think about you and see you. And it's also very much about the politics of this small village and the local abbey and the power that the church has versus the power that the villagers have and their relationship with the church and with Catholicism in general. This is sort of right around when Martin Luther was active and Lutherans started to become a thing. So that's like going on in the background.
So like 1968. Southern America, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was really good. I really, really liked it. I would recommend it to you, Jim, and to you, Johnny.
I've played
don't know
some
if
of
Matt
it.
would like it. Yeah, I think Johnny would like some of it. I think, Jim, you might like all of it if you can get past it not being voiced at all.
I played a little bit of it, and I liked it. I liked the tone of it, but I think at the time I was playing it, I was tired, and I kept wanting to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I think maybe trying it when I'm more awake would be better.
Yeah, it's definitely a wakey time game. It's not an interactive novel, but it sort of feels like that as far as, like, quality of characters and things. And while I'm not an historian, I did feel like it was really well researched and really period accurate, with a little bit of modern sensibility here and there. For the wokies, they toss in some female characters talking about the state of their lot in life. But
because it takes place like in the German, what would now be the border of Germany and Belgium, like Aix and Ghent, and there's some other places.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's not a setting you see a lot of in games, but if you like Name of the Rose, like that book.
Yeah, I was gonna say it felt very Name of the Rosy investigating.
It is very Name of the Rosy. If you have any interest in illuminated manuscripts, the art style is all based off of them and is pretty amazing.
I like when there's typos in the writing as it comes up, and it goes back and fixes it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like the fonts are different for characters based on their level of education. But one thing I really liked is if you as the player character learns something that affects how you perceive a character, like they're more or less educated than you thought they were, the font changes, which I think is really
cool.
Clever and interesting. So, yeah.
Pretty neat.
Pentiment. It's on Game Pass if you have Xbox Game Pass. If not, you can purchase it for PlayStation or Switch, or it's on PC. I really liked it, and I'm pondering whether or not I will ever try to squeeze it in for a bonus episode for us. I think
would
it could
enjoy
be a
that.
controversial pick. We all know
How
what
long did it
happens
take
to
to
Matt
finish?
when there's lots of text on screen, you know? And
There's obviously
Yeah.
a Johnny boyfriend in that. Can Vanessa figure out who the Johnny boyfriend in that game is? Because it's a very
think-
obvious one.
there's a character named, like, Big John. Like,
Big
literally
Jorg,
named
I think.
Big Jorg, yeah. So I'm gonna
got
guess
it.
Big Jorg.
You got
it
it!
in one. So did
How
you
long did
finish
it
it,
take?
Johnny, or did you?
No, I played like half of it.
Yeah. I think it's like 15 hours total.
Oh, okay. No, I played
Okay.
1/15 of it then.
Yeah. And it has some replayability. There's, different outcomes that can happen based on what you decide to do. I think really it's whether or not you buy into the characters will make or break your experience with it.
There's a game, and it's like an RPG, but I think it's much more. It's like imagine if Baldur's Gate was almost all based on dialogue. It's by Obsidian. It's called Tyranny, and it's very political. I'm curious if you would like that game.
That sounds like something I would definitely like.
I think it might be a little too grimdark for you,
Oh no, Grimdark.
but it's grimdark fantasy. But so's Dragon Age sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But I do like happiness and good times as
Yeah,
well.
I don't think it's a happiness good times. But if it was on sale, I would say you should try that. Because that sounds like something that might be up your alley. I heard Noah Caldwell Gervais talk about it.
Ah. Yeah, I have not really been in the mood for reading because that's a little too introspective for what has been going on with me recently. But I have started to graduate from really terrible reality television or games I've played a million times into, games that are almost novel-esque and a little bit more prestige television. So I'm coming back to myself.
You could tell me to cut this or not, but you did just watch a show that was 90% foot damage.
Yeah, I did. You don't have to cut that.
Okay.
I did watch that, and I felt personally attacked.
That last one, especially, I felt was the
Yeah, nope.
most...
I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about it.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Vanessa, I wonder if you would like something like Disco Elysium.
Jim,
She
we
has.
played Disco Elysium for the show
even talked about it
together. And
10
we
minutes
talked
ago.
about
I
it
didn't-
at length in the bonus
I
episode.
thought that was, for some reason, I thought that was just Matt, Stan, and I.
I'm pretty sure. I definitely played the game.
I played it.
Oh,
Did I miss
Okay.
that bonus episode?
I
think
don't
so.
know. That was a
I don't know.
long time ago.
I
It
don't
was.
know.
That was pre-pandemic, I think, wasn't it? Or maybe no.
I
It
believe-
was
might
sort
have
of
been-
like right at the
yeah,
start, I think.
Yeah, I think it was
I believe it
2020.
was, yeah.
Because I remember the depressing tone felt very appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of on the fence about Disco Elysium until the very end. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
I did not care for the protagonist. I like the protagonist in Pentiment a lot more. It's not
Well, I mean-
quite as, just like everything's shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just kind of the worst person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say in Pentiment, he's not the best person, but he's not the worst person either.
Relatable.
Although that kid is still the worst person in Disco Elysium.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
the kid who just, swears at you and
Yeah.
kicks you in the shins and stuff.
When you find the body at the beginning, that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who's, throwing rocks at it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he didn't have a happy life in the end.
Well, I think you can explore more about his life. That is one angle you can go down in that game.
Oh.
I'm not going to do that. What am I, CPS? Forget it. All right, that's my level up. Johnny.
Yay! Hello, my name is Johnny. Would you like me to talk about the Steam Deck? I think that would be a good level up, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I got a Steam Deck.
Ooh, steamy.
Ooh.
It's fancy. Thank you, listeners, for getting me a Steam Deck. It is OLED. It's the revised model with the bigger battery. And it's very impressive. I have been playing so many games at 60 frames per second because I'm a graphics snob. But the revised version has a variable refresh rate display. So even if it's not quite 60, it's fine. You don't have to snap it to any particular number. It can run at 54 and still look smooth. It's got HDR, so it's super bright, and the OLED and HDR. I haven't actually had an OLED HDR device before, so it looks like it gets bright. And let me tell you about how some games run on it. Final Fantasy VII Remake, amazing. Looks perfect. Final Fantasy 13, amazing. Runs perfect. Even on PC, I think they might have actually patched it on PC, but on PC for the longest time, you had to go through PC Game Wikia and get some fan-made patches to make it run well, but on this, it just boots up and runs perfect. All the JRPGs pretty much, except for Dragon's Dogma 2, which will not run on it very well at all. But they barely runs well on any PC because it's got some issues.
Has it got little apps for streaming services, like Netflix and things like that?
No. But it has a web browser in the desktop mode. So you can put on the Netflix and through there, I believe, and YouTube's.
But don't have a little app like the Xbox do.
No. If you had the PS Portal, that would have your apps on it.
Well, I don't.
Although I think the PS Portal they didn't think it was going to sell, and it keeps being sold out. Jim, did you get one?
No, I've been meaning to get one, but then when I read that the Steam Deck can also act as a remote play device for the PS5, I was like, I'll just spring for a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Because you can do way more with it, not just have a second screen for my PlayStation.
Yeah, and I've been buying Steam games since 2004. So,
oh wow,
I have a lot of Steam games that I can play.
Yeah, my Steam library isn't huge, but I'm excited to build it out more now that I have a
pretty big Steam library that I never touch. Maybe I should get a Steam Deck.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
It's the only games that I've encountered running bad so far. Mafia 3 ran it defaulted to mouse and keyboard.
Weird.
Which you can do. First of all, you can plug in keyboards and stuff, but also it's got trackpads and things and the touch screen. But even once I got it, I assigned it traditional Xbox style controller. It just looked awful. It looked like it was running in potato mode, and it got stuck. Although it got stuck in the same place on PC, Mafia 3, which I do want to talk about, but I don't know. I haven't played enough of it yet. And it's kind of an intense, deep game about racism in 1960s America.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. Imagine if Grand Theft Auto was set in the 1960s in New Orleans, and you're playing a biracial protagonist.
Oh.
Whoa, racism in America? That sounds like fiction to me.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those Sweet Baby games. Is that what this is?
No. Martin Luther King just been shot. That's kind of the start of the game. So it's not a good time to be in Louisiana as a biracial man. And he's also basically Jack Reacher. He's immense and so much taller than everyone else in the game that people treat him very badly because he's so intimidating. And police officer, it's got a GTA style cop system, except in this game, it shows you cops watching you all the time.
Oh.
Even if you aren't doing anything, it shows you the cops are aware of you. And it's got different systems that I don't know if are fun or not. If you're in primarily black neighborhood, the cops may never come if you commit a crime. But if you're in a white neighborhood, they will be there in 30 seconds.
I wouldn't call that fun, but
Yeah.
it's definitely interesting to portray.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to play more of it. I got the Mafia trilogy. That first game is incredible. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen, and it runs perfectly on Steam Deck. Mafia, the 2020 remaster. And yeah, one of the best looking games I've ever seen. And for a crime, I've been kind of getting into crime stuff. I sort of made fun of the Ray Donovan style boring crime things before. But the first game is 1930s gangster, so it's got that like 30s. I love the 30s. As problematic as it is, I love like old timey cars and buildings, and like I love playing LA Noire. I know that's 40s.
I love LA Noire.
But it's fun. I like it when games recreate early 20th century stuff. I find it really fascinating, and how walking around those spaces is really cool. And I watched a crime movie for a video that I'm making, my next video on my Bears and Games YouTube channel. I decided I should probably watch Heat, because the game I was playing was so inspired by Heat.
Yeah. Had you seen it before?
Never.
Wow.
Oh, what'd you think?
It's 3 hours long. I was not expecting that.
Super long.
It is very good. There's a lot that could have been cut. There's a lot of filler.
I thought the same way. Like there's like 30% of the movie feels like it could have been cut out, maybe.
Well, because it's about all the criminal men and the women who love them, and I feel like a lot of the women who love them scenes are. Oh no, some of them are good. Like Val Kilmer's partner and like the mom of his kid, when she does the like don't come in thing at the end is real. That's such a tense and really good scene, and it's so played beautifully. But some of it's just like the Natalie Portman stuff, I feel like doesn't work.
Yeah, too much chick stuff, am I right?
No, it's the and the women who love them style thing. Like they don't have. Well, they kind of do. It's interesting. Like they're what do you call it when they have direction and self-governance?
Agency.
Yeah, their agency, like Al Pacino's wife's agency is through cheating on him deliberately so that he finds out. And I don't know. There's a lot going on in this movie. Did you need that? It does have like an interesting ending where
great Pacino moments.
He's Nicolas Caging through this movie. Like
he's just yelling and
but he's like
on all
normal. He's normal, and then suddenly he's like, someone's like, no, I can't tell you that. If I tell you that, I'm gonna get killed. And he's like, he turns, you could get killed walking your doggy.
It's got that great scene where he's like questioning a guy, and he talks about loving a woman because she's got a great ass,
you
and
love
your
her.
face is all up in it.
Oh, you love her because she's because his delivery is like, oh, you love her. Oh yeah, I heard you love her because she's got a great ass.
It's such an interesting actor, because I think Godfather was kind of his first movie, or nearly his first. And
like Dog Day Afternoon was, I think, his big breakthrough.
I thought that was that after?
I thought it was after.
Yeah, I think that was after Godfather.
No, wasn't it? Dog Day Afternoon was like in the 70s, right?
Yeah, but so was the first Godfather,
my boy.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like 76 or something.
Time to IMDb
72.
this bitch.
Dog Day Afternoon was 75.
75.
So it was after. Yeah, 75.
And was Midnight Cowboy him?
No, that's Dustin Hoffman.
I mix those two up every time. And Al Pacino's so strange because he's this tiny little man, but he's got these gorilla arms that go down to his knees. Like he
does have long arms.
He has the longest arms of anyone. I did work on a movie. What was it? 88 Minutes is the Pacino movie I worked on years ago. And
that's not a very good movie.
No. It did blow up a Porsche on the outside my office. Like you can see my office that I was working in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Godfather was his fourth movie, and his first kind of leading role, I think, or at least major role. and maybe his best work, you know? It's like he really came so hard out of the gate. I think he's amazing in Godfather.
I don't know about the, like, Cage style temperament swings that he sort of, in the 90s especially.
Yeah, and then he developed this new acting style of just, like, yelling, which is weird.
Do you think Cage is kind of emulating Pacino's? No, but he kind of did that before. Like, Cage was in, like, Vampire's Kiss. He was already doing the
Cage was
weirdest.
already doing that kind of stuff. But I think
that movie's fucking terrible.
When you have a director who can, like, tamp Pacino down, like, I think Insomnia is very good. It's kind of
that is a good movie.
An overlooked Nolan movie, and that's all about Pacino being, like, totally exhausted. So he's just, like, really low energy. It's great.
The action scenes in Heat are fantastic. Like, they're so well directed and tense and, like, half-hour long sometimes, but still just, like, the whole time you're like, oh, you know.
I was reading a thing, I think it was actually today, about how the sound design in Heat of the gunfire, it sounds so, like, crispy and loud, and it's just, like, mixed so well.
Yeah,
love it.
It's so influential in games like Grand Theft Auto, like Driver, and things like that. Like, you can see, they're recreating the scene from Heat. And what's his face? He's kind of the Walton Goggins of the 90s. It's got William Fichtner.
I love William Fichtner. I wish he was in more stuff.
I feel like his role in Batman was basically like a reference to Heat, because it was the same, very similar style bank robbery. But
he's so memorable in The Dark Knight with, like, just this couple of lines where he's like, "You and your friends are dead." Love that.
But that bank robbery was straight out of Heat.
For sure,
it was scene for scene. It's really weird going back and watching that. It's like, anyway, it's one of those movies, if you want to understand the last 30 years of pop culture, is really good to go back to. You'll see that there's so many things that have taken from it. And it's a good movie. It feels much more modern than it is. Like, it feels like a 2000s movie until you see like the ambulances, because until the mid 90s, ambulances had this like 1970s body. So it's got these like 1970s ambulances that look, you're like, what? And everyone, like, there's so many sweet Corvettes and Camaros. Those brand new Camaros that just came out that year. Oh, they were gorgeous. Anyway, I have leveled up way longer than you two, so I will stop now. And how about we?
That was your tribute to Matt.
Yeah, it's my tribute to Matt. How about
I can't believe we're getting to the quest log before the 45-minute mark.
Weird.
Amazing. Let's go.
Let's go. Unless either of you want to level up too.
Level up too.
Vanessa, do you want to pre-level up for you're finally going to be able to see Late Night with the Devil tomorrow?
I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be an experience. I have said that I'm going to spend the weekend watching it, by which I mean I'm going to get my Shudder free trial on and just loop it for 7 days until the free trial is up.
There's got to be some other Des Malkian content on Shudder. That can't be the only.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, there might be.
Maybe.
Now,
he's got to get ripped apart by a demon or something in other movies.
I'll rip him apart like a demon. Jim has been giving me tips about other good horror movies to check out on Shudder.
Yeah, so. I think you should if you watch just one other movie on Shudder, watch Rebirth.
All right, I will.
What about that one?
It has
amazing.
A stupid title.
What about that one about the house that kills people? You love that one.
House?
Oh, that's not on Shudder. That's on, I think it's on Prime. That's called Margot. And it's about a house that kills people.
Was that the one with Will Sasso?
No, the one with Will Sasso was a Jonathan Rhys-Meyers movie.
Oh, did you know Will Sasso is like one of the CEOs behind that project where they released a George Carlin AI?
And he got fucking sued for it.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah. Actually, like, on my TikTok and Instagram, like, I'll get served content from, like, Will Sasso's podcast, and it seems like all they do is AI stuff. Like, they'll be like, let's look at an AI of Michael Jackson, and then they just watch and react to an AI of Michael Jackson. It looks like the fucking worst content I could imagine.
What was this song you were talking about today? That's the hot gaming news I'm interested in.
That is some hot gaming news. So a bunch of Gamergate chuds created an AI song that is called Bring It Back, Make Gaming Great Again. And the lyrics to it are pretty incredible. I'll read an excerpt here.
Please do.
The chorus of the song goes, bring it back to the days of old, when the screens were bright and the stories untold. Bring it back, let's have some fun. It's time to rise, bring normality back. The game
fun!
has
I
only
love
just
that.
begun. and it goes, beautiful gamer girls, handsome gamer boys, let's all unite.
To paraphrase Vanessa.
Yeah, you recite
Fucking
that and
normalcy. I'll normal your face with my fist.
Yeah, all I hear of that is like, I can only jerk off to certain kind of women, put them in the games or my pee-pee will be sad. That's my AI song for them.
And normalcy is a dog whistle about gay people. So
absolutely.
It's pretty telling that the video part of this music video is all just clips of Stellar Blade, that game with the lady with the big honking butt.
When I interact with art that challenges my worldview, I get uncomfortable. It makes me sad.
But like
the second
games have hot ladies all the time. They still do.
Yeah, the second verse goes, hey, where are all the fun games at? Yo, let's bring some normality back. I'm tired of all this virtue signaling. Sweet baby ink don't mean a thing. Yeah, we need pretty ladies and handsome men too. Making games great again. That's what we gotta do.
I want to make it clear that when I say handsome men, I don't mean men that women would traditionally be attracted to. I mean handsome in the sense that it's a male power fulfillment, like Kratos.
Or other men would be attracted to, or non-binary, or they don't want that.
John, that's woke talk. You know what? In the first verse, they address that. It goes, yo, let me talk to y'all about the state of gaming. We need a change. No more of this virtual shaming. The world's gone woke, but it's time to flip the script. Bring back the magic, the joy. Let's all together get... Yeah, we need pretty ladies and handsome men too. Making games great again.
Is that their one idea? So they want fun games with hot ladies and I guess hot guys?
And handsome and hot men too, yeah.
Well, no, they say handsome. I don't know what that... I guess they mean like Drake from Uncharted.
They say pretty ladies, not sexy ladies. And handsome men, not like hot men.
There's so many games that are fun that come out all the time, and lots of games have hot ladies all the time. Bayonetta 3 came out 2 years ago.
I struggle to think of a game that has intentionally had like an unattractive female protagonist.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
She looks fine. She's completely fit.
She's got a beard.
And pretty.
Women don't have hair on their faces, Vanessa.
Well, here's the thing though. Like, it's 2024. Like, Star Wars came out in 1979, and that was a game about how, like, fascism sucks. Mm-hmm. And so I don't understand what it is they're trying to go back to.
Well, first of all, it came out in 77, and it was a movie.
Well, no, but my point is, like, this idea that pop culture is shaming you for your position of, like, wanting to be a neo-Nazi or whatever. It's like pop culture has been like that since before you were born, and maybe even before your parents were born at this point. So I don't understand what it is that they're trying to go back to, because video games have never existed in a time when there wasn't, like, the context of, like, Nazi bad.
Maybe if you go back to when they were all like anthropomorphic characters, maybe they just want Candy Kong.
They don't like that.
Or like Babs Bunny.
That level in Mario Odyssey where Mario's forced to take a class on critical race theory.
Yeah. There's the Super Mario Gender Studies edition.
I learned so much.
Like, Mario games are all over the place.
Yeah, but now you're playing as a woke elephant, so...
I guess what they want is, like, you know, like, I think of those old arcade cabinets that had, like, busty babes drawn on them.
Like
but
the
then
Ninja
the actual
Turtles
game
one.
was just, like, a pixel that you moved around on the screen.
Yeah.
I think that's what
That's
they want.
what they want.
They want, like, pixels that you move around on the screen that they can imagine are hot women.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah. Let's go back to that.
Let's
Dead
go
or
back to
Alive
that.
Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Bring it back.
That's what they want.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I forgot about that shit. But you don't need that anymore because now we have the internet and you can look at porn whenever you want to.
And also, the last chunk of this game basically was a mini-game collection where you get new bikinis for your girls. That is Dead or Alive Extreme
That's true.
Beach Volleyball! Sorry.
Yeah, but they
I'm
nerfed
yelling here.
Tifa's boobs.
They did it! They're huge! Anyway.
Speaking of Tifa's boobs.
Let's get into... Hey, we're still under 45 minutes. Let's start right now. Quest
We made
log!
it.
Time to talk about the quest log!
All right, Chapter 7, Those Left Behind. Time to leave Costa del Sol. Remember, if you want a chocobo, you gotta go to the rented chocobo stand. I did not realize this until much later in the game, and I did most of Corel without a chocobo.
Oh, no.
You can also fast travel back to Junon here if you want. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can.
Well,
Go play
I'm
some
still
Queen's
missing
Blood.
some Queen's Blood. I can't do the level 5 stuff, so I gotta go back and find the rest of level 4.
Our goal is to get to Corel, but the gondola is broken, so we have to go up on foot. And Yuffie, well, we're kind of making our way up the hiking trail, and Aerith starts to get tired, so we hang back a little bit. And then Yuffie's like, I want to go on ahead. I don't want to rest. So she and Barrett and Tifa decide to take off on their own, go on ahead. And so it's Cloud and Red and Aerith who are following.
Yeah, they get some special bonding time. Red stays behind because he can, like, sniff out where they went, right? Is that the kind of idea?
I think so, but we also find a lot of markers left by Yuffie with, like, drawings of Barrett and
They're
drawings
amazing.
of arrows.
Yeah.
They are pretty great.
Well, no, Cloud doesn't get left behind until halfway through this chunker. That's after you defeat the Turks.
No, this is just when the party splits up because Aerith
Yeah,
is
it's just
tired.
when the party splits up.
Oh, that's
The
right.
party
Yeah,
does
yeah.
split here. Yeah.
And those chalk drawings of Barrett, you can tell that she starts liking him more as they climb up because he gets less angry. And they're both having fun by the end. That was cute.
That's great. Yuffie's a great character.
Yeah, she is. I really like her.
I put a picture in the group chat earlier today, but I saw online that Yuffie, you can cast Doppelganger, and there's another Yuffie that'll come out. The other Yuffie is actually like a marionette, like a puppet. If you zoom in on it, it has just like a painted on face, and like it's made out of wood. You can tell that it's made out of wood, and it has like wooden joints like Pinocchio does.
What? Wait, what are you talking about? When
Yuffie's
she makes
doppelganger, she
when-
has like a doppelganger attack.
Oh, I haven't got that attack yet.
I've tried it, but I thought it just made her sort of blurry. Like, I didn't ever notice another Yuffie.
Can you go into photo mode during a fight?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, pretty neat. Thought that was fun.
Why though? Because she made many Johnnies that were flesh and blood humans. Why is her doppelganger a
and she
marionette doll?
she's also made a talking doppelganger version of herself.
Maybe it just looked like the marionette though.
But the doll thing is like a old ninja standby, right?
Right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the wooden doll version of yourself, like the whole it's made famous in Naruto, but it's been a thing way before that of you think you're fighting the ninja and you stand back and it's just a log. Like that's like this old, but that's like an old ninja lore thing. And you could probably find out how old it is by Googling when did the ninja log first appear. But
when did the ninja log first appear? Oh no, it's just a big picture of a poo.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should turn safe search on, Vanessa.
Yeah. Then I wouldn't see all those schlongs.
I was so disappointed that Matt did not click on the video for Mr. Blobby.
It's awful. I don't understand why he's not doing it.
So Matt asked in our group chat, who is Mr. Blobby? Because he just watched Taskmaster. And spoiler for Taskmaster, skip ahead, 3 minutes. I guess
you could just say they reference Mr. Blobby.
They reference Mr. Blobby in Taskmaster, yeah. And he's like, how does everyone in England, I don't believe that everyone in England knows who this is. No, Mr. Blobby was like it was like Austin Powers in 1998 in the United States. Mr. Blobby was that in England that year.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was like everything was Mr. Blobby. He had a #1 song that Christmas.
Number one Christmas song. And so you sent a video that fully explains who Mr. Blobby is and what his deal is, and Matt refused to watch it, but I guess our listeners can all go get their blobification.
Yeah, if you're curious about, you're curious about entering the world of Mr. Blobby, Google Mr. Blobby song. It's a song. It does have a Shakespeare sister parody, which is the funniest thing, where it's the scene from Stay With Me where she's like she's nursing and putting a wet rag on her lover in the video, except now it's Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, it's glorious. It's great. It explains everything, and I don't think anyone who watches it will walk away with any more questions.
No, yeah, the song is about who Mr. Blobby is.
It's like an origin song.
Qualities, what he does, what he can do.
What he will do.
Yeah. Oh, God. Jim, no!
That's Mr. Blobby, right?
I mean, it is, but normally he doesn't have exposed teeth and blood. On his face.
I wonder what the lyrics of the Mr. Blobby song are.
It does have Jeremy Clarkson.
5, 4, 3, ignition, liftoff. Let's hear it for Mr. Blobby. Blobby, Blobby, Blobby.
This is #1 song in England. It was.
When disaster strikes, you never get depressed. Blobby, oh Mr. Blobby, you'll always prove that Blobby is the best.
Yeah.
It was really a single pass writing song.
Yeah. They wrote this in the recording studio.
And
I think one of the lines is, as far as we can see, he's the same as you and me. There's nothing in the world that he can't do. And let me tell you, if he's the same as me, there's lots of things in the world he can't do.
There's a whole verse here. Let me read it. No ride too rough. No test too tough. No act too slick. No race too quick. No shot too hot. He'll hit the spot. No style too chic. No joke too weak. No chance too slim. No fate too grim. No foe too strong. No odds too long. No price too high. He's put some by. No dodge. No doubt. No backing out.
Whoa. Now, there is a children's choir portion to this song. Actually, I think most of the song is children's choir, right?
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, great. Sorry.
It's great. It's great. It's great. And the lyrics don't do it justice, and you should really watch the video, Jim.
Anyway.
What does this have to do with Taskmaster?
You'll have to watch the episode to understand, Jim.
Yeah. We don't want to spoil the episode for you.
Oh, well, that's then I've lost all interest. So we're on our way up the mountain. There are some enemies here called Spearhawks that are really tough. These things were hard.
Were they? They're either weak against arrow, fire, or ice. It's one of the three.
I think it's arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Just do their weakness. I finally
Makes no sense for a bird to be weak against arrow.
That's what I always thought. I was like, I want to strike you with lightning because that seems like something you would be averse
but they're
to.
Not,
but nope, it's always wind.
Yeah, wind. You can knock them out of the air. It makes total sense.
Makes no sense. They're just going to ride vulnerable. That updraft.
They're
it would be like
vulnerable
attacking
to wind.
Storm from the X-Men with wind.
Yeah, if she's like flying in the air and you're like, I'll buffet you out of the air with a tornado, but then she can make her own. I feel like that's different because she can make her own. She can also control the air. Birds can't control the air, is what I'm saying.
Then how do they fly?
They use the air. They ride on it. And so if you start, it's basically like if you took the road and started messing with it while you're driving on it, that's going to be a problem.
So are you saying a road's only weakness is more road?
A road is very weak to earthquakes. If you use quake while you are driving, that would be bad. Haven't you seen Superman 1 in that scene that scarred me as a child where Lois Lane gets suffocated by dirt falling on her car when she falls into a fissure? That scared the crap out of me as a child. That sounds
scary.
It's an intense scene.
Scary.
Luckily, Flash entered the Speed Force and turned back time.
Yeah. Well, he did. Well, Superman. That's exactly what Superman did.
Superman can't enter the Speed Force, Johnny. Get your lore straight.
Okay, Superman went backwards around the Earth to reverse time so Lois Lane didn't drive into that fissure and die.
I like how that posits that time is dependent on the Earth rotating a certain direction, and that if you were to reverse that direction, it wouldn't destroy the Earth as you would think it would. It would just make us all rewind.
Well, that's exactly what happened. So Superman totally went into the Speed Force there. Like, think about it. He can't. Why not? He's just as fast as the Flash.
He's not as fast as the Flash. You take that back.
Remember in Justice League where Superman was also slowing time and looked at the Flash and it was a really cool scene? How do you explain that?
I remember that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, in the Snyder cut.
Yeah, it was a good scene.
I did think that was one of the cool parts of that movie. But he wasn't entering the Speed Force. He was just moving quickly. It's totally different.
In the 1979 movie, he did the exact same thing that the Flash did. I don't know how to explain that any more than that.
Here's what I think. I think that the Flash was around. We just didn't see him. He was off screen. And when Superman was in grief flying around the Earth, Flash was like, oh my god, Superman is destroying the Earth by reversing its polarity. There were all these disasters. Everyone was dying. And Flash was like, I have to turn back time and make sure that this doesn't happen. And then he did.
Cher
and then
wrote a song about it.
Superman thought he had turned back time, but it was really Flash all along.
Did he find a way?
Turn back time. If I could find a way. That's a great music video too.
I take back the nuclear missile that hurt you,
on the ship.
And you live.
Yeah.
And I think her son is playing guitar in that music video too, which is pretty great.
I think you're right.
So while all the sailors are like, yeah, we want to fuck you, her son's just standing
so
there
hot. We can almost see your vagina.
Yeah, and her son's like, that's my mom.
I never liked that outfit. I mean, I like the audacity of that outfit, but I don't think it looked good on her.
No.
She wasn't wearing it for me. She was wearing it for herself.
She was wearing it for those sailors.
Well, I understand that. They got such rough hands.
From all that rope. Tying the rope into monkey knots all day.
So, we're climbing up the mountain.
Yeah, we eventually reach a platform right as a Shinra helicopter lands and Elena gets out.
There are a lot of little side ways, but they all seem to go to the same place.
They do.
Like, so I should have explored more of them. I was like, oh, I'll go back and try that later. But
I really don't think there's anything to find here.
Not that much. I kind of tried to go all over.
I
You get
did
some,
find a weapon in the mine. I think that was the best thing I found. Maybe two.
What weapon was it? Do you remember?
A Barrett gun.
Oh. I feel like Barrett has a lot of weapons in this game.
I think everyone's got
So
an even amount.
yeah, I think you're right. Elena's there. She lets out a bunch of black-robed guys. She's like, we're going to let these guys out and see where they go. And then she leaves, but she drops a boss on us.
Well, yeah, she's like, "Oh, I'm not interested in fighting you. Don't worry." But this guy is. Wink.
Ugh, Elena sucks.
Well, she has to try 20 times harder than any of the men on the Turks team, and she's
That's
new,
true.
and she has to prove herself. She can't be all wishy-washy. She has to be tough. Okay, are you saying she seems like a bitch because she's being authoritative?
I'm just saying, like, she sucks.
Yuffie calls, or Yuffie calls, is it Yuffie or Yuffie?
Yuffie.
Yuffie does call Scarlet a bitch, right? But she doesn't call...
Well, she has some past with Scarlet, so
Oh, I didn't know
think
that.
that's her issue.
Wow.
You did know that? You played, what's it called? Same as any of us.
Intergrade.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I wish in this game we got the scene from the original game where you're like spying on the Turks and they're talking about who they have a crush on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like Rude is
That's outside
is,
Gongaga,
likes Tifa.
right? Isn't that
That is outside of Gongaga.
Yeah.
But in the original game, the Gongaga town area was optional. You didn't have to go there.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, what was the boss? I cannot remember.
The custom Valkyrie. It's like an upgraded version of that boss you fought in 7 Remake. When you were like on top of the Sector 7 ruins trying to make your way to the Shinra headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fight that like flying boss. Yeah, and eventually has like a laser or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This boss was pretty tough. This thing's tanky.
I'm way too overleveled at this point. Like, I did not have any... Well, you know what? That's not true. I did have to use that shield that you can put in front of Aerith. Because...
the ward or whatever?
Yeah, she'll get... The one that, like, makes a literal shield in front of her. For projectiles. That helps a lot with this fight. Unless you're not directly controlling her, in which case she will not stand in front or behind it.
We do get some plot here after this boss fight, because once we beat the boss, it cuts to a Shinra boardroom, and Rufus is talking to the other executives about something called, I don't know if this is explained in this game, but it's something called the Magnus materia.
I thought he was talking about the Promised Land and how...
He mentions the Magnus materia.
Oh. Okay, I don't know what that is.
Which, like, I don't know if that's this game's version of the huge materia. Remember the huge materia?
Oh,
Yeah,
I bet it
that's
is.
kind of the impression that I got.
From the original? Yeah. But, so he's like, we really need this Magnus materia. And he says that there's been these big energy spikes at Mako reactors around the world. And then he shows some footage of a gigantic beast swimming in the Mako. And this is when Hojo's like, oh, it's a weapon. I think I put in the notes here, Hojo gets excited
Hojo
and ejaculates in his science pants.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's accurate.
The name Weapon. What do we think about that?
Not very original.
No,
I mean, it's from...
not.
It's such a big thing in Final Fantasy, the original translation of Final Fantasy VII, that I think they kind of had to stick with it, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Like the
Also, if they
diamond
stuck
and
with the
ruby
name,
weapon.
why did they make them like whales in this one when they were like big mecha robots in the original?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
They're sin is what they are. It's just
Yeah, they look like Sin
just
with
a
like
bunch
a
of
big
Sins.
with like a big materia in their
tum-tum.
in their bellies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were mechs the first time, right?
Yeah, they were. They had guns and missiles, and
Oh yeah.
they walked on two legs. One of them was like a big dragon though that flew around. That's the one
Yeah.
you had to fight
Yeah,
above
there's-
Cosmo Canyon.
There's the one
to
you
get-
fought underwater. There was the one you fought in the air.
That was yeah.
the one
There
was
was
just
emerald.
flying around.
There's emerald weapon, ruby weapon, ruby weapon, diamond weapon.
And there's one you have to
Emerald?
fight. You have to fight in the game. Like
That's
when it's-
emerald, I think.
Yeah, the one that's coming from Midgar, and there's that's the one that gets
Yeah.
hit by the sister ray.
Ooh, that's right. And then there's diamond weapon. I think is diamond weapon the one that's underground. Ruby weapon is the one in the sand outside of gold saucer.
When was the fight with Scarlet on the sister ray? I thought that was like in the original Junon, but I guess you go back to Junon at some point.
You do go back to Junon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get there when we get there. Is that this
Yeah.
game?
No.
Oh wow. Okay.
Tis not.
I was
right,
I was
so-
really excited for Tifa versus Scarlet with like Tifa's new
I know.
fighting
I
controls.
wanted another slap fight.
Well, but I bet it would.
Another slapping mini game.
I bet it would be good this time.
What if it's just like her crunch mini game and her push up mini game, but slapping? It's like that's what
Remember
all
that-
that has been leading up to.
Wasn't the original like you had to press a button to like wind her slap up and
Yeah.
then press another button to slap before you got slapped?
Yeah.
It very poorly put together.
I
mini game.
think that would be a change where if they have an Advent Children style fight, I would be happier. Because
Ooh,
a
that would be
slap
cool.
fight, no thanks.
Rufus also mentions that Wutai is also after these big Magnus materia. So he's like, that's one of the reasons why we need these things. He's about to leave the boardroom, and then Reeve, Vanessa's boyfriend, speaks up, and he's like, sir, what's going on with the Neo Midgar project? I thought we were going to do that. And Rufus is like, shut up, nerd.
That was one of my
Yes.
father's things, and I have different priorities
Yeah.
now.
And he's like, there's only one thing I'm going to ask from all of you. Total and complete loyalty.
Just
And
a
then he
small
leaves.
ask.
And it goes back to Yuffie at this point, and you do get a good explanation of what's up with
Oh yeah,
the history
This
of Wutai.
yeah. We'll get to that in just a sec, John.
Okay, sorry.
Because we cut from this boardroom
God,
scene
right.
to Zach.
Yay!
Anytime Zach isn't on screen, I'm like, "Where's Zach?
So what does Zach?
Zach
Is this
doing right
like
now?"
Zach going through the Shinra HQ? Is this Zach? I don't know. Like Zach and Cloud teaming up and like going on a new adventure. Like what happens in this chunker?
This is Zach in a shack.
Zach Shack.
Zach wakes up in a shack,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got Cloud and Aerith, and they're both like unconscious. And then he opens the door, and Elmira's there, and Elmira's like, "Oh my gosh!"
As played by
we
Michelle
can't-"
Pfeiffer from Dangerous Minds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
And
she does look
is
like
that-
that.
Yeah.
and she's like, "We can't keep them here. We got to take them to my house." And then you go outside, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and the world's about to end.
Yeah.
and then you see a big crack in the sky.
Well,
for the
and
notes for,
at first Zach is like, "I can keep them here. I've been taking good care of them." And she looks at Aerith and she's like, "You haven't even cleaned her. Like, you
Yeah.
just have her in a
My-
coma.
my
You're not
mind
taking
kind
care
of-
her."
Filled in blanks based on that comment. Like I imagined him like with unconscious Cloud and Aerith, like he like puts them up on the part like to a tea table and like serves them tea, and he's like, "Oh, you're thirsty, Aerith," and he's like spilling tea on her face, like trying to pretend she's drinking it. And he's like, "Oh, do you
he's
want some
like-
more cookies, Cloud?"
And he's sitting there in silence, and he's like, "What's that, Cloud? I'm a good cook. Oh my gosh, thank you." And for the notes here for this whole Zack section, it's very brief, but I said Zack is in a shack and puts Cloud on his back and looks up at the sky and sees a big crack.
Yep, that's it.
That's pretty much this entire cutscene.
I thought
that
Elmira's comment about him not understanding how to take care of someone in a coma was really sad. Like, I don't know, for some reason that affected me. I was like, oh, that's good writing. Like,
are they wearing diapers or something? Like,
I don't think he's done anything with
what's the bathroom? Are they just sitting in their soiled clothes?
Yeah, I think he just like put them in the bed, and he's like, "Well, my work here's done."
I feel like him doing tea parties with their unconscious bodies would be like a better thing. At least he's getting them out of bed and cleaning them and dressing them and stuff. They're still wearing their normal clothes, although he did take off her hair thing. And
how does he hydrate them?
Yeah, maybe he just like casts
he just casts Cura on them.
I think it's like a "Don't Worry, Darling" situation where he's dripping chicken broth into their mouths.
Yeah,
that movie sucks.
Spoilers for "Don't Worry, Darling."
That movie sucks.
I didn't watch it, but I read the whole plot, and I was like, "Well, I never need to watch that."
It's pretty bad. Do you think that one of the things I was wondering was why is he doesn't think it's weird that Cloud is dressed exactly like him?
No, because they're both soldiers. It's their uniform.
No, Cloud's not a soldier.
Well,
he is.
What was Cloud wearing?
Like what they were wearing? Is that what they were wearing when they escaped?
Yeah, I don't remember what Cloud was. I think he must have. There were a bunch of soldier outfits because they're all being tested on. So he probably.
I think you're right. On. Maybe they just grabbed an outfit and left. Okay,
and that's why Cloud was like filling in the mental blanks when he woke up.
Oh, sure. He gets conscious again. He's like, "Oh, I'm in a soldier outfit. I must be."
I remember all these stories. They must be my memories.
Yeah,
ex-soldier.
That's right. All right, so we cut away from Zack, and then we go back to our party. Aerith wonders how her mom is doing, because she misses her mom. And then this is where Yuffie talks about the Wutai interim government.
Mm-hmm. And this actually helped me a lot because I now understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Now you know who Glenn Lodbrok is.
Yeah, we learned a lot about Glenn Lodbrok.
We do.
Although Cloud doesn't seem to know who he is. He's like, because he perks up when she mentions soldiers.
Yeah. Well, so
this
Glenn
causes
Lodbrok
a problem anyways.
Glenn Lodbrok was one of the... So soldiers were just infantry units, before they were showered with Mako, they were just regular soldiers. That's who Glenn Lodbrok was. He wasn't
Rothrock.
Glenn Rothrock. He wasn't a super Mako guy. He was just a regular dude. And then Sephiroth was the first super soldier.
So he was the first soldier in the game, the first soldier that no one played.
Kind of, yeah. That's true. Nobody played that game.
Yeah, he's the Captain America of Final Fantasy VII. And no, that was the first Avenger and the Winter Soldier. Right. That joke doesn't work. Yeah. I got mixed up.
Well, I think.
But yeah,
was the first soldier about Sephiroth, or was that about Glenn Rothrock?
It was about. I think the first soldier is referencing. Sephiroth and or Genesis.
Oh, right, Genesis.
Genesis Rhapsodos, the worst named character in all of media.
Let's get back to the best named character, Glenn Rothrock.
Yeah.
Yuffie explains that when Wutai, when they signed the ceasefire, everyone in Wutai was pretty steamed about it. And so they kind of were like, we don't trust the government anymore. That's why Godo is under house arrest in the original, because they kind of ceded to Shinra. And so Glenn Rothrock was like, hey, I hate Shinra, and I don't think that Wutai should be just a signing a ceasefire and ceding all this stuff to Shinra. So they overthrew the Wutai government and installed an interim government,
which is only going to last as long as they can to finally do democratic elections. That's the overall.
Not even just democratic elections. I think that she's like essentially saying we're going to write a constitution. We're going to pick a mode of governance and things like that.
Totally new system of government.
And you get some like tiny flashbacks to was it Godot? Who was the guy in the last one that dies?
Sonon.
Yeah, so you get flashbacks to Sonon and Sonon's dead fiance. Right, she died. Right,
it's his sister. Right,
was it sister? Oh, right. Yeah, was she the one who was into the beans? I don't remember.
I think so. The Dachau beans.
Yeah.
The Chow.
Yeah, so you get some like sepia toned flashbacks to how brutal Shinra was. They're so quick though that you don't, unless you played Intergrade, you won't get much out of that.
Yeah.
And if you don't remember Intergrade very well, you won't get much out of that.
Who was it that killed Sonon again?
That was Genesis Rhapsodos, wasn't it?
No, that was Nero the Sable.
Oh, sorry. It was one of those those guys from the game. We have to play Crisis Core at some point because I'm very confused about all those characters.
I think isn't Nero in isn't he a Dirge of
Oh,
Cerberus
you're
guy?
right. He is. We're not going to play. That's still only on PS2. So
let's see. All right, so now they decide to so we're wondering about the black robed guys, and we stop at the edge of a cliff, and there's like some Mako below us, and one of those big weapon things jumps out, and we see its big materia tummy.
And Yuffie is very excited. She's like, "Look at the size of that thing! Look at its giant materia! She can't even carry that. That thing is like, I don't know, 20 feet across." What's she gonna do with that? I don't know. She wants it though. She wants it bad. And she's like, I'm going to see it's a weapon. And then Red 13 explains what weapons are. And he's like, they're protectors of the planet. So things are real bad. And she's like, well, I'm going to get it. I'm going to fish and get it. And Cloud's like, all right, enjoy your fishing then. And is about to leave her. And she gets huffy. She's like, fine, I'll come with you. I won't get this giant piece of materia. The reactor's in bad shape.
Yeah, it's just deteriorating. Essentially, it's been left abandoned.
Oh, I guess that there's a cutscene explaining what happens here in a minute. Well, in a few minutes.
Yeah, in a minute. So we see that there's a big bridge that needs to be lowered in order for us to continue across these tracks into Corel. This is where the party splits again, and we get to control Yuffie and do some fun platforming.
I don't mind this. It was fine.
Yeah. I thought the swinging... it was
There
fine.
was one point where I saw some, like, special-looking boxes to break, and I was like, how do I get those? How do I get those? I want to break those boxes, but I can't. I need to get there, and I was trying over and over to figure out a way to, like, aim at them, and then I realized... later, it's the minecart section.
Oh, yeah.
I did the same thing, yeah.
There's some other ones where you have to be at a certain angle to break a line with her shuriken, and I was at a different angle where it should have worked, but it didn't. And I was getting so mad.
I was in the same way. Yeah,
that was really irritating.
Mm-hmm. Because I tried over, and I was like, okay, they probably want me to stand somewhere else. They just designed that badly so that you think you can do it from that direction. And you have to, like,
I don't think there's really much else to say about this. Like, nothing plot relevant really happens here. It's just...
I do like that you're in control of Yuffie. That's pretty fun. The worst, or not worst, but it took me a while to figure out the ratcheting gears that you have to turn, because you can't go too far the other way when you're swinging. You have to, like, kind of go
Oh yes, yeah, that took me a minute too.
She's so much more fun to control than Cloud, though, that it really makes me bitter when, like, Cloud comes back and you can't choose who to be your overworld map character.
Yeah, I do like playing as Barrett or her, because breaking the boxes is more fun with a launch weapon or a projectile.
I wondered because I feel like every character gets a little section where you can control them. And I was like halfway through the game and I was like, can I just pick another character to navigate the overworld with? And no, you cannot.
So irritating.
Yeah. Like, why did they go to all the trouble of animating them as like lead characters if you can't just do it?
I think that Yuffie has the best. There is one point where you get to sit on a bench as Tifa so far, I think. But Yuffie's bench sitting animation is so cute. She just like
is it just when she plops down
on a bench? Oh,
it's
it's
very
adorable.
teenagery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's just well
pretty
animated.
great.
There you have to go like along some cliffs. There was the toughest. Well, I wouldn't even call it tough, but it was pretty fun. Where she's outside and you have to go along all these different planks to smash some green switches to power on an elevator. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. I liked the slide section. I actually did it a few times to make sure I went down all the different slides.
Slides.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
I don't think I did that.
You surely did.
Yeah.
You must.
There's like one part where you go down a slide and then you get to a platform and there's like 2 ways you can go, and then you go down and it branches out again. You can go
Wait,
more
by
places.
slide, do you mean like the pole?
No, like the tubes.
I
Like a tube slide.
don't think I did those.
I think you have to in order to get out of here.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like something I did, but I'm also wrong a lot.
It was like you get to the top of the elevator and there's 3 holes that you can go in. And each one is a slide and you pick
That
which
does
one to go down.
not sound familiar. Don't remember it. Didn't happen.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Slide Truth or Johnny.
Well, is this going to be like, okay, there's two options here. One is that I did it and forgot, which is totally possible. The other is it's going to be like Ocarina of Time, where I didn't get that blue tunic for Link, but I did it anyways because I'm obstinate and figured out some other kludgy, dumb way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. There could be another way through the mine that neither Jim or I found.
Mm-hmm.
Or it
True.
could be from some other mine later in the game, since both Jim and I have finished the game and we're just confused.
Okay. There's a lot of options here. Listeners, which option was it? Let us know. squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. We haven't got an email in a while. We want to hear from you. Tell us how your day went. Tell us what you think of Mr. Blobby.
Tell us what you think of the slides. What is the truth?
What is the truth? So, there's some cock tricks, which you can't say on Facebook or they will
Tricks.
ban your account for a week, like they did for me. I did like fighting those. I finally got Asuna. I finally leveled up my cleansing materia enough for Asuna, so that's useful.
Nice.
Gotta have Asuna.
I don't think I ever used my cleansing material.
Me neither. I just let it time out.
I found the life materia, or whatever they call it, revival materia in the town that you're about, Coral. I was very excited to find that.
That could be pretty handy.
I mean,
Another boss fight here.
Oh yeah, yep.
We fight the Gigatris.
Gigatris.
Big
Gigatris.
rooster.
Yeah, it's a big old bird. Big old ugly bird.
Gigatris. Gigatris.
But we do get to see some cute birds after we kill it. We get to see little Cloud Jr.
Well, because you get to the tippy top of the mine, and then you see the cable car that you can take. Or no, is it? I don't remember. No, it's just the bridge controls. But on top of the
you see
bridge
the controller,
controls are cute little fluffy, wuffy baby chocobos. And that big Boyd, it looks like it's gonna eat them. And
Are these
Tifa's
chocobos?
yeah, aren't they? Or maybe not.
Different
Oh, you're
kind of
right.
chocobo.
They're not, because
Are
you
they
see
not
the
chocobos?
you see the mom
No.
later, and that
We
is
see the mom, and the mom
like
is not
a
a
rock
chocobo.
or something. Yeah, it looked like a rock.
And we've
But-
also seen many baby chocobos in this game.
They're a
and
lot
they're
bigger. Yeah, that's true.
And some of them wear their little egg
But
on
the
their
thing
butt.
is, they look like the baby chocobo from Final Fantasy 13. That's why it's
That
confusing.
lives in that man's hair.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Sahz.
and the man's afro.
Sahz, yeah. Sahz's hair.
We got to play
All
Final
right.
Fantasy 13 for the show, right?
Next year I think we'll play Final Fantasy 13. Not all 3 of them yet, but at
I
least
never
the first
played
one.
that one.
It's good.
Never played those.
I mean,
It's not that bad. Like,
yeah, it got a bad rap for sure.
I think I actually own it for 360, but I've never played it.
I would get it on Steam.
yeah. I think that Matt will really like Hope as a character.
Oh
And
yeah,
be
he's
super
gonna
into him.
love. But he might go into dad mode about him. Be like,
Oh,
he's just a
that's true.
teen.
Leave
He's a
him
kid.
alone.
Yeah, he might go into dad mode. I think he'll hate Vanille. I think he'll be like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up.
That was a good Matt impression.
Yep. He'll be. I don't know. But he could like Vanille too. He might be like, she's delightful. You know, he might. I don't know. He's surprised. You can't just rely on him hating someone. Sometimes
True.
he'll surprise you.
He's a complicated man.
It's true. Listeners, which Final Fantasy 13 character will Matt hate? Snow,
What if he hates
right?
Snow?
Oh, I could see him hating Snow. Snow sucks, but
Yeah.
that's kind of his character, is that he sucks and he learns from it. Anyway,
Anyways,
so you fight a big Boyd. This big Boyd is... Oh, yeah. So this big bird's about to eat these baby not chocobos. And Tifa's like, oh, we got to save them. And I kind of paused the game and was like, do we, Tifa? Are we doing this?
yeah.
Like,
That's just-
circle
that's
of
just-
life, baby. Circle of life.
Yeah, that's just Mother Nature, babe.
Oh, babe.
There
We don't have
Was
time,
this
babe.
I get very into watching this bald eagle cam during nesting season. And unfortunately the eggs didn't hatch this year for these eagles. And I had joined the Facebook group, and it's like once they don't hatch, you kind of wait for the eagles to leave the nest, and then something usually comes along and eats them. And people in this Facebook group were like, I hope these ravens don't eat these eggs. I can't bear it. It's too tragic. And I'm like, I hope they do eat the eggs. It's like, what's the alternative? They just go to waste? Like, come on. Eat them up. Yum,
It's
yum.
true.
One time I saw a bald eagle walking around, waddling like a penguin at the Port Coquitlam bus terminus and eating trash. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is a
Oh.
graceful symbol of America.
What a great metaphor for America.
The most noble bird.
It was really, they're huge. They are big birds.
I saw one at the zoo last weekend. Their wingspans get up to 7.5 feet.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or if you ever see like a human sitting in a bald eagle nest, it's like a human will fit in there comfortably with plenty
Oh,
of room
wow.
to
Yeah.
spare.
I'm kind of surprised that they got this far north, but the bald that like they are no longer endangered. It was there was a
Yeah,
project during the 80s and
fantastic.
90s that worked well, and now they're doing it for California condors and stuff. I know there's some other birds up there. They're
I
trying
used to see them around Seattle, and there's tons in Alaska, so I'm not surprised.
Oh, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it makes
Vancouver,
sense.
too.
Yeah,
They have some in Nebraska as well.
Wow. I think it was Benjamin Franklin who wanted the national bird to be the turkey.
famously,
Because
yes.
turkeys are like actually native to the United States.
Well, aren't bald?
Are bald eagles not?
Well, I
yeah,
think they
they're-
are, but they're also
coastal.
in other parts of the world. So
Yeah, but there's turkeys
Oh.
in Ottawa, and they're kind of a problem.
Yeah, but I mean, like there weren't turkeys.
Like they
in
harass
Europe.
people.
So the turkey
I think that's
is like
true in
Oh.
Jersey. I've heard about New Jersey turkeys like just roughing people up.
There are in Kansas, and I think it's in Wichita. There's a famous turkey every year. It goes to the same intersection and chases cars around.
That's amazing.
At a place I was working once, this kind of good old boy kind of guy who I did not know, but who knew the person I shared the office with, popped his head in and he goes, "I've got turkey fever," because it was turkey hunting season. He was very excited.
So we defeat this bird. It was kind of a Oh, would you eat this bird? Actually, save it. We'll talk about that in Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
A lot of birds in this game. We could
Save
have
it for Thanksgiving.
we could have a Would You Eat This Bird Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Remind me close to
could.
Thanksgiving. I'll collect data about all the birds in this game.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So a bird boss. I like this fight. I thought it was quick and fun. I like that the boss.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't as cinematic as the Final Fantasy VII remake bosses. Remember, like they would, have lasers that destroy half of the environment.
Yeah.
It feels a little less expensive, but that's okay. Games can't all cost $400 million. It's fine if we get this game that's a little bit more grounded in scope.
Yeah. So we beat the Gigatrice. We meet little Cloud Jr., who's like a little baby bird that has hair like Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
They talk
We
get a
about
nice,
how it
cute
looks like
little laugh.
Cloud.
It's not a baby Gigatrice, though, because the Gigatrice was
No.
going to eat them.
Right.
Baby rock or something.
It
does have hair just like Cloud.
Splits again.
But didn't they already make this joke about the first chocobo that you tame that also had hair like Cloud? Back, outside Midgar?
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. They've already done this
In the
bit.
grasslands area. Yeah, they have already done this bit.
Yeah, but you have to remember, this is a world where, like, literally everyone's obsessed with Cloud and wants to sleep with him all the
Yeah,
time.
it's true.
And when you feel like that about someone, you find excuses to be like, oh, this is just like Cloud.
And they not only... I feel like you could have made this joke much better without commenting on it, but they commented on it several times that it looks like looks like Cloud. So this one of the baby birds decides to start flying around Barrett. It almost lands on his head in a reference to Sahz from Final Fantasy 13, but then just decides to stand on his shoulder. And I thought this was going to be like a rest of the game thing. I was a little sad that it wasn't.
That would be kind of amazing if it was. It's just
would be
there
kind of
the rest
amazing.
of the game.
But that is Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah,
So.
that's Saz's thing.
Yeah, that is Saz's thing.
Yeah.
I think this
So
was
we
an
get a-
Easter egg hinting that they're going to do a Final Fantasy 13 remake next.
You don't really need... It still looks great. You don't really need to remake it.
Give the people what they want. A Final Fantasy 13 remake.
People love Final Fantasy 13. They must. They made 3 games of it.
And people
true.
bought them. They were successful.
Yeah. That is
Some
a good
people
point.
really
Even though I
like
don't
those 3
feel like a
games.
lot of people really understood them. They did have a really convoluted plot.
Well, there's the Falsey and the Lacey.
the Ilse. Oh, Lacey. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't mix them up. They're very different.
So we get another split party situation here. We've got Barrett and Yuffie and Tifa.
Well,
Who's the third person here?
because when... Barrett, Yuffie...
Is
Yeah,
it just
Tifa.
Barrett and Yuffie?
No, it's
No,
Tifa.
it's Tifa. Yeah, it's Tifa.
Okay,
See, the problem
yeah.
is when they're talking about Glenn Rothrock, and Yuffie's like, "Oh yeah, Glenn Rothrock. He was a soldier like you." And Cloud's like, "Huh?" And then his brain gets the green static of
Oh yeah.
yeah.
He's like, I don't know Glenn Rothrock.
And he has a little headache in his head. He needs a little sit
his
down.
head hurts sometime.
Yeah.
So
a
they're
little
like,
head.
"Oh, we'll just stay with Cloud while you close this bridge." And so yes, Barrett.
Oh, that's right. Cloud needs to rest.
Yeah. I like how whenever this
Yeah.
happens to Cloud, they just all kind of side-eye each other like,
Yeah.
Yeah, even when he's about to murder someone.
Which happens right after
Yeah,
this when they get to
yeah.
Corral. He almost murders somebody.
Yeah. Which makes
but-
me wonder, why is Cloud on this journey? It's not like Cloud is the only one who can find Sephiroth or something like that.
Well, but there is a game or a plot reason why. Right?
But, like, from their perspective, why bring Cloud?
Because Cloud was like he want revenge for Nibelheim.
Yeah, that's true. He does want to He does want to take down
Well, he
Sephiroth.
can want whatever he wants. He's clearly unstable and unfit to travel.
Because like he
But
thinks
they like
he
him
was there,
so much.
and he's so hot, and his hair
Yeah.
is so great.
But he like randomly tries to kill people. It's like,
Yeah, Cloud's great. He's a great fighter to have around. Pretty good leader. But he wants to kill party members sometimes.
Yeah, he sometimes
We're just like
talks
other
to
random
someone who's
people who
not
we find.
there.
That's the cost of leadership.
Yeah, exactly.
in fact, he seems to specifically want to kill these people who are suffering from an indeterminate mental illness.
And he does call them Sephiroth and start talking to them and responding as if they're talking to him.
He hallucinates regularly.
Yep. And then if you mention stuff, he should remember his brain does shut down and he does need a little nap or a lie down.
He's prone to becoming catatonic.
Yep.
Prone to fits of violent hallucinations.
I'm sure his catatonia won't become a problem. There won't be a massive issue related to this.
It's like going out with your friends and you're like whoever it is who drives you around, like he's sober, but he'll still drive 80 in a 60-mile-per-hour thing, and there's nothing you can do to stop him.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Kingpin with Woody Harrelson, where he plays like the bowler with one hand?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
There's a scene where he's at a bar like drinking and he's super depressed and he's sitting next to a guy and the guy's like silent. He's just drinking his beer and he turns his head and he goes, "Who you calling a psycho?" That's like Cloud.
So you get at this point, so they radio you and they're going to lower the bridge and Barrett's like, "Oh yeah, me and Dine used to," and then he trails off because there's something he doesn't want to talk about here. And then everyone side-eyes each other. I guess because everyone has something that the other people are going to side-eye them about. Here it's Barrett not wanting to talk about his dark and mysterious past.
Mm-hmm.
And
we get Barrett's origin story here.
Mm-hmm. So then it'll switch back to Cloud in a moment. And you ask Cloud, "Hey, Cloud, on your way to the city, could you please set it so that we get a gentle, easy cart ride back?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And Barrett's like, "I'd like an exciting way back, but I understand that Yuffie and Tifa, but especially Yuffie, do not want an exciting
Yuffie
ride
has
back."
motion sickness issues, so she sees the minecart and just is like nauseous just thinking about it.
I'll be right back.
Or I'm sorry,
so
she's
you can-
nauseated just thinking about it. To be nauseous means that you cause nausea, not that you are
true.
nauseated.
I'm trying to be better about making that distinction.
Yeah, let's all work to be better about our nauseous
It's our
nausea.
2024 resolution.
It is. Finally have one.
My actual real IRL resolution is to finish every game that we play for the show this year.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Does that include
I'm 3 for 3 so far.
bonus episodes?
Yes,
Wow.
it does. In the rare occasion that we actually play a game for a bonus. So you can do this one of two ways. You can actually make it gentle for Yuffie, in which case your relationship with Yuffie deepens. Or you can leave it the way it is, in which case your relationship with Barrett will deepen. What did you do, Vanessa?
I made it nice and gentle for Yuffie. I also have motion sickness issues in cars, and so I related to what she was going through, and I didn't want to make her go through the anxiety of feeling like she was going to be sick.
I did it so Barrett liked it, and it was pretty funny because at the end Yuffie's like, "I'm gonna kill you."
And she does throw up.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Oh, you guys are so mean.
Well, first of all, I want to romance Barrett.
Oh, right.
Obviously. And but the downside is if you take the easy path, you get way more boxes to shoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it goes along the side and there's like a big stack of boxes you can shoot. While if you go in the air, there's no boxes you can shoot.
I found it really difficult to shoot these boxes with Barrett. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I
was kinda
did,
peeved I
but
didn't
you
get
have
to
to kind of
didn't get to
keep
shoot all of them.
moving. Like, you have to keep sort of so yeah, there's a mini game here. First you walk, you just walk down the track. There's some just random encounters or just random enemies to fight. And then you switch the thing. But when you're playing, basically Barrett wants to distract Yuffie from her motion sickness. And he's like, oh, you should, we'll try hitting these boxes along the way. It'll be fun. So you get 2 prompts. One is a triangle, which is very easy. You just hit triangle when that appears. And the other is Barrett shooting boxes with square. And the thing is, pieces of the boxes that like basically when you shatter the boxes, they turn into physic objects that will block your shots. So sometimes you're trying to shoot the other ones, but you have to like shoot around the pieces of the boxes that are blocking. And that can get a little complicated. But I did well. I got excellent for this mini game.
Wow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty
Nice
fun.
work.
Thank you. I really I feel so rewarded.
Once we're all reunited, we get to see Cloud meet Cloud Jr., which is fine. I feel like this joke's worn out a little bit.
Well, especially
Yeah.
since it's the okay, this is the 3rd time, and the camera has to show Cloud's hair, show the bird's hair. They've said they call it Cloud Jr. I didn't get a screen cap of Cloud saying "kill me." Did either of you get that screen cap?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Oh, that was. I want that to be the episode art, but I don't think I can do that. I might have a save right before it.
I'm sure someone's put it on YouTube. Just pull it off.
Yeah,
no one
I'm
will know
sure
the
it's on
difference.
It's
YouTubes.
fine. I'll use one of our screen caps. Dude, for the last episode, I was like, oh, Matt took this nice screenshot of Barrett and Tifa. I'll use that. And I was like, why did Vanessa say it was gross? And then I was editing and I was like, oh, because her breasts are out.
So we do get to North Corel here, and everyone is super mean to Barrett.
Yeah, they don't like him.
What are you doing here? I can't believe you're showing your face here.
Fuck you.
Yeah, everyone's like, hey, Barrett, what the heck's going on? And he's like, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I can take it.
He's just like, it's all good. And Yuffie in particular gets really indignant on his behalf, which I thought was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's
that.
like, why are these jerks treating you like crap?
He's
Yeah,
like,
and
don't
she
worry
wants to
about
fight
it.
all of them and
Yeah.
beat him up.
So we're getting to the point where the new character alert. We need like a drop for a new character alert. Some kind of sound effect.
New character just dropped.
So as we make our way through North Corel, we run into, Tifa is like, hey, I want to go into this clinic really quick. And we meet new character, Doc Sheeran.
New character just
All
dropped.
Who
right.
is the
Yay!
proprietor of the North Corel clinic. And he's also the guy who helped nurse Tifa back to health after the Nibelheim incident.
And he famously sings, "You're beautiful." Is
No,
that
that's
it?
James whatever.
Oh, did he sing "Rainy Days and Mondays"?
No, he sang Shape of You.
Oh, did he sing "Your Body Is a Wonderland"?
No.
That's John Mayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in some ways, no. In some ways, yes. Because, yeah, it's the same guy. It's not, but it is. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Yeah. Just a bland white dude with a guitar.
Yeah.
But this guy's got red hair.
Doc Sheeran? Oh,
Yeah.
no, you're talking about Ed Sheeran. Doc Sheeran is an elderly man.
Yeah, he's
A very helpful elderly man.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you that he asked you about the Black Robe guys, and he's like, oh, I've been trying to help them. I tested their blood, and it's got something weird in it I can't identify.
And he's like, hey, you're a soldier, right? Could you give me some of your blood, which will cost you nothing and will help a lot of people? And Cloud's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, no way. Not
Yeah.
a chance. Not gonna
Why not?
happen.
Why not? Cloud,
No.
come on.
Yeah.
No.
Ed Sheeran also posits that he thinks that these black-robed guys are soldiers who are experiencing cellular degradation from their Mako exposure.
Oh, but Cloud's like, Sephiroth is here. He's like, don't trust her. She's lying. She's hiding, the truth. And Cloud's like, I'm gonna kill you!
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
tries
So
to
Cloud,
kill one of the patients.
he tries to kill one of the black-robed guys.
Fortunately, Barrett does get in the way and block it with his big gun.
Yeah. And the doctor is like, please don't kill my patients.
Well, you seem totally fine. See you later.
Yeah. No need to check you out.
I think every time
go
Cloud
well.
does this, there really should be a 1-minute side-eye sequence of just everyone going like,
Or just like really sit down and talk about it. Be like, Cloud, you have multiple times tried to kill these gentlemen. Do you want to talk about it?
Be like, Cloud, you're whoa, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Like, Cloud, you are experiencing something significant to the point of danger for everyone here.
Yeah.
we're all, none of us are safe.
Yeah. You are a danger to yourself and everyone around you.
Yeah. You tried to murder 4 people in the past 2 days.
So there is so there is a mini a side quest here that you can take, which does introduce
New character just dropped.
a couple of kidnappers. I don't remember their names. I thought this would be in your
Oh,
notes.
this is where you had to go into the mine again.
Yeah,
right?
you go back into a different part of the mine, and
Yeah.
you go, and there's a lot of death claws here. I'm like, death
Yeah, a
claws?
lot
Those
of
are that's Fallout territory.
Yeah, it's a tie-in.
Yeah, these are from the Wasteland.
Yeah. I don't remember the names of these characters. Do either of you remember them?
No.
No, I had totally forgotten about them until you just mentioned them.
I was wondering if they were something from some other Final Fantasy offshoot game, because it seems so weird to have them in it.
They do have matching face tattoos.
They have matching face tattoos. It's a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially a couple.
I got couple vibes from them.
And they have kidnapped one of the black robe people for ransom, I guess?
Yep. And then they're like, well, we'll kidnap you now, Cloud, and see how you like it. At first, the lady's pretending that she's also been kidnapped, and the guy is dressed like the black robe
The black
guy.
robe guy, yeah.
But
Oh,
Red
right.
13's schnoz gives away the game immediately. He's like, because the whole time you're following his nose. It always knows, and it knows that he's wearing like an intense cologne.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look up
so-
this quest.
They're like, yeah, we're going to kidnap you. And the way we resolve that is just like beat them up. Well, they have a monster.
No,
too.
you don't beat them up. You beat up a Death Claw variant called the Death
Right.
They have a
Mask.
Dark Claw.
Which I guess is their pet or something like that.
Yeah, it was their pet that you kill. Which is okay. So let's see. All right. Sorry, I'm going down to see if it has the names of the character. It does not have the names of the characters. But I'm sure they're very important and will show up again. There'll be a flashback to them in Final Fantasy VII Reunion, or whatever the third one's going to be called. Mm-hmm. And
Maybe they'll come back in this game. Maybe they're important to Zack's story somehow.
oh yeah, maybe they're Zack's besties. Bonnie and Clyde, or whatever their names are.
Yeah.
I do like that they seem a little scrappy.
They
'Cause-
seem like they're addicted to Mako, if that's what you mean.
Scrappy?
Yeah,
How are they addicted to
scrappy.
How are they addicted to Mako?
I just mean it seems like they are people who enjoy a lot of substances. like Mako.
Oh.
I was surprised
Wow.
that they had guns.
Yeah,
It's
they just
weird
have
when
straight
it's
up guns.
weird. It's weird when a character just pulls out a pistol and points it at you.
Well, I mean, Rufus has a gun.
Yeah, but he has like a cool anime gun.
That's true. These guys just have like Colt 45s or like a 9mm or something.
What I like is that all of our characters are always really afraid of guns when they're produced, even though they frequently fight battalions of soldiers with guns.
And they're getting like struck by lightning all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and they're fighting like robots with Vulcan cannons.
Yeah.
And all that too.
Yeah.
And Cloud can always like hide behind his sword. To
Yeah.
shield himself
I
from
like
bullets.
that. I like it when they let him do that. When they let him like stand behind his sword. That's pretty cool.
All right.
Is there any other side quests here?
No, that's the only one. There's a few card games that I wasn't high enough level to do. I noticed one card game guy was floating. He was like,
Yeah, there's a
yoga
guy who
dude.
is sitting like cross-legged and he's floating above the ground.
as one does.
That I saw somebody post in a group just a screenshot of that, and it's like it was like no context Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and somebody commented and he's like, I've played the game and I did this and I still don't know how to explain it.
Well, it's so there is like because he's doing a yoga pose, and he could be like he is sort of a yogi style, not Yogi Bear, yogi like a yogic master.
Yeah.
And there is something called yogic leaping, which they call flying, but it's more like you bounce with your thighs. It's very silly. Not that I'm calling their religion or spirituality silly. It just looks silly when white people do it. I'm gonna.
John, you didn't play this guy?
He's probably
No, I
just used
didn't.
float on himself.
Yeah, just use float.
Oh, that's right.
Now this guy is
if you-
part of like the bigger Queen's Blood story arc, which we haven't really
Yeah,
gotten into.
Well, we won't get into it this episode, but he drops some Queen's Blood lore on you.
I did get my first Queen's Blood flashback to something that was
Like,
very upsetting. It was a guy like saying, "It was just a game. It was just a game." Like the inventor of Queen's Blood, Frederick
yeah,
Queen's Blood.
Frederick Queen's Blood.
I haven't played Alan
Old
Wake,
Freddy
but I
Queen's Blood.
assume that that's what Alan Wake is like. Like,
Kind of.
Yeah,
this
kind of.
like guy being like, I
I'm
made
stuck
something.
in the dark place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I created something I
That-
don't understand.
Yeah, he's kind of
Yeah.
Mr. Scratchy. Yeah.
He is, yeah. So we go to the rope car thing that's going to take us to the gold saucer because we have to go there because we were told that's where the black robe guys are going.
Yeah, they want to have
and
party
while
fun.
And while we're in the car, we get Barrett's backstory.
Yeah.
Barrett was a miner when Corel was a mining town, and Shinra came a calling, and they're like, you're not going to have to work again a day in your lives because we're going to build a Mako reactor here, and you're going to be just drowning in sweet, sweet gill.
Well, they were coal miners,
And-
right? And then
Yeah.
I thought the idea
Yeah.
was that they were going to work in the Mako reactor instead.
No, she said that they're going to do payments, that they were going to, that the royalties from their land use would cover all their cost of living. But basically do like
Yeah.
a UBI for Coral.
Cool.
Yeah, and Barrett's like, I'm all for it. Coal mining's bet. This game seems very pro coal mining, which is weird
stance to take. Yeah.
for an
Yeah.
A game
environmentally
that's
focused.
ostensibly an environmentalist game.
No, it's not the good, clean kind of power like coal.
Yeah.
It's this new power. So
But
Dine is
Barrett's-
very opposed to it because he's like, our
Yeah.
grandfathers built these mines and maintained them. It's our history and who knows if we can trust Shinra. And Barrett's like, no, look, UBI is great. We can all focus on doing what we want instead of working to live. Or living to work.
Yeah, he kind of uses Marlene as like a selling point. He's like, you're going to be able to give Marlene a better life.
Wait,
He's gonna
excuse
be
me.
able to...
Point of order. Marlene is Barrett's daughter. Why would he be telling Dine? that he can give Marlene a better life.
Gasp.
Did I just drop a spoiler?
No, we've all played Final Fantasy VII.
That's true. Yeah. Marlene is Dine's daughter.
Yeah.
If Matt was here, he'd be yelling at me. For
Well, I
dropping a
think we
spoiler,
sort
but-
of learned that in this
Well,
cutscene.
Matt
when
doesn't
he
have
starts-
extended memory. Like, he doesn't remember things
long-term
over 6
memory is
yeah,
what we're talking about.
like post 6 months, it's all kind of a blur. So that's why everything's so new and fresh and the best thing he's ever seen, because he doesn't remember
That's
anything past 6
true.
months.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that after our recording last week, because I tend to be very hyperbolic when I like something and I'm talking about it in my level up, and I was thinking I should just change that segment from level up to like, here's Jim's recency bias. Like, here's the thing that he just experienced.
Well, I
think we're all like that with our level up, because a lot of level up, to talk a little inside baseball, is just sharing things with each other that we think that the others would like.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, so we learned that Barrett kind of talked Dine into letting Shinra build their Mako reactor, but it wasn't long before the whole thing malfunctioned and exploded. And Shinra's like, oh no, we can't have people thinking that Mako reactors are unsafe. So we're just going to go murder everyone in Corel.
Yeah.
And burn their whole town down.
Seems like an extreme response, but
Yeah.
And they did blame the Mako explosion on insurgents from the town instead
Right.
of,
Yeah.
because they didn't want to admit that it was an actual problem with the reactor.
Yeah. And so Barrett ended up in Midgar.
But
You
how
only
did his
learn
hand
what
blow
happens-
off? I mean, okay, I know we know, but it did.
Yeah.
There's still more to this story for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
if things go like Final Fantasy VII, we'll find out in the Gold Saucer.
Yeah, we're going to find that out next chunker when we play the entirety of Chapter 8, All That Glitters.
How long is Chapter 8?
This-
It seems like a lot happens.
It can be, I would say, at minimum, probably 6 to 8 hours. If you spend a lot of time in the Gold Saucer, it can be a lot longer than that.
it depends on how many mini games you want to play. And as we know,
Yeah.
Johnny wants to play them all.
Ooh, I can't wait to find out. Is there don't answer this. Is there submarine game? Is there basketball game? Oh, it's going to be so exciting. Listeners, don't tell me. I'll find out. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna be able to play so many. Also, like, I can't wait next week to talk about the introduction to the Gold Saucer.
It's amazing.
It's mind blowing.
Da, 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 da,
Yay!
da.
All right, Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I am roundly for playing as Yuffie in the overworld, or whatever you want to call it, dungeon map. She's more fun to play than Cloud. She moves better. She has a grappling hook. She has a throwing star. She can throw things. She's cheerful. She's not just a depressed sad sack amnesiac. I love it, and I was very sad when Cloud came back. I wish he would fall in the live stream already.
Wow, suck it, Cloud.
Johnny, what are you squarely against?
I'm thinking, because I like some parts of this. Okay, I am squarely against 30 seconds of Zack. If you're gonna do a Zack flash, like, have a boss, have a dungeon, have something in there. Like, don't make it 30 seconds. That was a tease. It was way too little, Zack.
It's a Zack tease.
Yeah.
Can I say something about Barrett before we move on? I'm sorry, I know we've already moved
Sure.
on, but this flashback where, like, we learn why everyone hates him, basically everyone in the town, except for this one guy, seems to already be for the reactor. So I don't understand
Yeah.
why they blame everything on Barrett.
Well,
One thing I wish would have happened in this section, I wish there would have been more hand references.
Well,
like Barrett's like, I would give my right hand if this doesn't work out.
He does say afterwards that he has blood on his hands, and I just paused the game. I was like, Barrett, you don't have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hand.
My hands are caked in coal dust at the end of every night, and I just want to go home and have two clean, beautiful hands to embrace
Imagine
my
being
wife
able to
with.
hold all that gill in your healthy, natural hands.
I can count on my 10 fingers how much better life will be.
It would have been great if he used his hand that was eventually a gun to do finger guns with.
That would have
He's like,
been
it'll be
amazing.
A-okay, Dad. Ka-chow."
Oh, jeez.
I think I'm the last one here. I'm squarely against Cloud Jr. I think at this point it's hokey and unnecessary, and I get it. Cloud's cool. It would have been a lot more amusing if the bird looked like another character. Like if the bird had big breasts like Tifa. That would have been pretty funny.
Like a big feathery white chest.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
geez.
some of
All
those
right.
shots of Scarlet, Matthew must have really enjoyed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She
I
was
think
just
that's why he's not here this week, actually. I think they just...
he
they did him
exploded
in.
like the chicken lady.
Yeah. He's recovering.
He had
All right, well-
a cloud static attack from being too horny for Scarlet.
Matt saw Scarlet and got green vision for a second. He's like, oh, you gotta rest. All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Before we go, I will tell, we've mentioned it a couple times on the show, but we do have a Patreon. You can sign up for it at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. Got loads of great bonus content there. This month, we are going to be playing the game Tacoma, the 2017 adventure game that I think is available on all platforms.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's
Yeah.
on a lot of things.
It's also a short game. I think clocks in at maybe 2.5, 3 hours.
And there's
so-
going to be a little special. You might want to watch the first 4 episodes of Fallout.
You might.
Yeah, we're gonna be dropping a couple of extra bonus episodes to discuss and celebrate the Amazon Fallout TV show, which I think we all really enjoyed. So that'll be fun to talk about. There's tons of cool stuff in that show. So we're gonna release our kind of the first half of the first season recap in April, I believe, and then in May we'll drop the second half. So stay tuned for that. We've also got other bonus content. We've got movie commentaries. We've got level ups. We've got Square Roots Versus, which we just did one of those last month when we played Silent Hill: The Short Message, which was fun. Like I said, if you'd like to have access to all that content, you can do so at our $3 tier. At our $5 tier, you can get all that content plus the ability to vote on games that we're going to play on the show. Once we get a little closer to the end of our Final Fantasy VII Rebirth series, we're going to put up another vote on the Patreon. So that'll be happening shortly. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Another perk of being a patron is we like to personally thank some of them on the show. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking Pashushu, John Scala, Rubber Bear, Ian Frederick, Spoony Bard, J-Bone, David Green. I don't have a PS5. See you next season. I think I know who that is.
You got to come up with a fake name for the next one.
Yeah, Vanessa's mom. Worked Muffin, Brie Girth, Butt Cheeks, that's my favorite one, Chris Penyak, Tracy the Boar Queen, Cyril the Wolf, and Andy M.
I'd like to thank Fresh Eyes, Chad Wilson, Johnny Five Alive, Doom Train, Jess Ray, Wedge Coon, Jason Timms, Andy Smith, Sean Gonzalez, Anthony Cruz, Do Good Recklessly, Hexagon, A Sentient Picture of a Banana, Ryan Schmidt, Isaac Wright.
I'd like to thank Anthony Lerma, William Westgard, Loafing Around, Angel, Join the Princess Posse, Eduardo Franco, Chris Parsons, Kodab Games, Armin Hammer, Keysby Knight, Orcus the Great, Justin Rash, My Battery is Low, Ron, Wishbone is Gay, for Square Roots Podcast, I'm Stim Stanks, I'm Respectable Name, and Ward Childress.
I was reminded that on Jeffrey Epstein's murder date, I also have alibis for Ron and Wedge Hoon's boyfriend.
Oh.
Sure. Sounds like
It's true.
a conspiracy.
Yeah.
We were all at the same barcade that night.
And
That's pretty convenient.
Ron has invited me to the next barcade night to again be in the corner and raise my glass to toast your birthday.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email to have read on the air, you can send us that email to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come join us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group, for smart, cool, very attractive people, or B-Skeet. God, are we saying B-Skeet?
I don't know. I
think
never go
Skeet.
on the B-Skeet, to be honest.
Me
If someone else wants to do it,
either.
like, feel free. But
Aw.
I guess you can B-Skeet at us at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
I might see it
I could
eventually.
pretend to be Vanessa on Blue Sky. That'd be pretty
It
funny.
would be pretty fun.
And problematic. Lady problems, am I right?
I got so many lady problems, let me tell you. First and foremost, the patriarchy.
Porky came to say hello
Porky.
and goodbye.
Bye, Porky.
Oh, also please rate, review, and subscribe at iTunes, Ghana, or wherever. I gotta change this. I'm gonna change this right now. Apple Podcasts, and I'm gonna take this. There we go. Okay. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa.
Goodbye.
Bye. Gonna hit stop.
Good short app.